I'm sure by now you've seen all of the crazy and very captivating headlines. Why? Who is this for? Who asked for this? Who wanted this? Well, all of that sounds so catchy in video titles, but believe it or not, companies don't care about your wants as much as they do your needs. And the reality is that customers often don't have the capacity to articulate their needs or their desire. At least that's what one of the greatest visionaries of our time, the man himself, Steve Jobs, believed in when he said, "People don't know what they want until you show it to them." Now, the fact is, Samsung is not new to this game, like, at all. They went through this before, right? They went through this with the phablets. Remember when they were making these large phones? Everyone was going after Samsung. Who wants these big phones? Who's gonna carry these big phones? Now compare what phones used to look like to what they all look like nowadays. The same goes for folding phones. When Samsung started its folding phone journey, people were upset and claiming the fact that no one asked for this. The same went with the S Pen. Nobody wanted an S Pen. Flip phones, and so on, and people always had something to say, something against it. Now we have the all-new Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge. I don't really suspect that Samsung is going to care much about people who are going after them for making this phone. I'm pretty sure they're going to stick with it. Now, I've gotten the opportunity to play with the phone itself, both at Best Buy, at the store, and also through another content creator who actually let me borrow this for a short while. And I did play with it, and I do have some first impressions, some really good and some not good. But first things first, the first thing you need to know about this phone is that it is extremely light. I mean, the darn thing is so light it feels like it's fake. Truly, like when I was holding it in my hands, it didn't feel like a real phone. It felt like one of those dummy units that you see, zip tied to counters at retail stores. It just felt fake. Again, I don't know how to put it. It felt weird and wonderful at the same time. Now, sure, it's technically only about 20 to 30 grams lighter than the regular S25, but that difference in feels when held in hands doesn't even feel right. And I'm saying this in a good way. But at the same time, of course, to get there, the phone had to make many compromises. Understandably so, right? Understandably so, but still, I want to highlight them because they are important. Because if you are going to be spending $1,100 on a phone that is not the S25 Ultra, well, they better come correct. Now, if you've been following the channel for a while, then you probably know that I absolutely love it when companies push the frontier of technology, and that's why I'm a big fan of foldables, right? Foldables, tri-foldables, gigantic tablets that make no sense, and anything that just comes out of the ordinary. I always do appreciate top engineering, which, by the way, this phone is, right? This is a marvel of technology, and I hope that's not too much to say. What really blows me away isn't just the dimension, although, yes, it's absurdly slim, but other than that, it's just the sheer technical wizardry that Samsung, along with other manufacturers, that make those super thin phones, have to summon just to make such a thing possible. We're talking next level engineering here, shrinking down those, the parts, shrinking down the motherboard, the battery, the display panel, right? All of those core components without ever so compromising on the flagship experience. And still include the vapor chamber in there, right? It's not just a design refresh, it's a reconstruction of, the modern smartphone architecture, if that makes sense. And I get excited thinking about things like that because I just love technology. I'm pretty sure you guys know that. But anyways, as far as the external goes, like titanium brings that crucial combo of lightweight and strength, especially when the goal is ultra slim beyond what we've seen before. So they took advantage of pretty much every millimeter because every single one of them matters. The display, flat out gorgeous. On the front, you are treated with that 6.7-inch AMOLED panel that Samsung is known for, which is the same size and very nearly the same quality as the S25 Ultra. Although one of the compromises here would be the absence of that anti-glare technology. Why did they not include that here? It's an $1,100 phone. Why? I digress. It's also protected by Gorilla Glass Ceramic 2, I believe it is, which Samsung says is more durable than anything they've used before. And a little bit of time that I spent with it, the display is exactly what I expected, without the anti-glare, of course. It's sharp, it's bright, and super responsive. Super smooth also, as you would expect. 120 Hz refresh rate, excellent visibility. The viewing angles are also fantastic with those inky blacks and inky reds. Just beautiful. But again, as I mentioned, the anti-glare coating, to me, that's a major compromise that they should not have gone for. Now, performance, as far as performance goes, this guy may have an ultra slim body, but it's comboed with a big brain, right? Under the hood is Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite, which is, simply put, the best and most powerful mobile chipset on the market at the moment, just in case you didn't know. But it is the same one as what we have on the S25 Ultra, so as you would imagine, extremely powerful. Now, I didn't get to thoroughly test that part in terms of performance, because just because it's the same chipset doesn't mean it is exactly the same thing, right? They are going to be, especially when we're talking about something this thick versus the Edge, which is extremely thin. Sure, it has the chamber, the vapor chamber in there, but I want to see how it plays with that chipset, how well optimized Samsung was able to make that phone. And that, requires a lot more testing and a lot more time, because as I said, I only spent maybe a couple hours. I didn't really spend a lot of time with it. So I'll get to thoroughly test that when I get my own in hands. Now let's go ahead and move on to battery here. And so far, the results are mixed. There are people out there who are experiencing pretty bad battery life, but others are experiencing pretty good battery life. Again, because I personally spent just a limited amount of time with the phone, I can only tell you that it's 3,900 milliamp hour battery, which is a much smaller battery than the 5,000 that we have here, 5,000 milliamp power. So the expectation is that this is not going to be a phone for those of you who are power users, right? Looking for something with long-lasting battery. I'm pretty sure you can manage to finish the day with it. I'm going to be able to give you a more objective take when I get to play with the phone itself. But as of now, let's just say that results are mixed. Some people are saying it's not that great. Some people are experiencing decent battery life. We also do have, wireless charging there, I believe up to 25 watt, fast wireless charging at up to 25 watt. And we also do have reverse wireless charging. Now let's go ahead and move on to cameras. And this is where reality comes knocking. You can, shrink the motherboard, shrink the battery, shrink the different components, but you just cannot cheat physics, because camera sensors still need space. So the S25 Edge here, it's got a chunky, camera bump to house that 200 megapixel main sensor and the 12 megapixel ultra wide, but we don't have a telephoto lens, which is a shame. The pictures are nice, but for some reason I just wasn't blown away by it. Could be me. It could be me, but again, I'm gonna get to test the phone again and share even more details on that. Now, with all of this being said, what is the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge? Now, if you are approaching this, or if you're looking at this phone through the lens of someone who owns the Galaxy S25 Ultra, or someone who appreciates the Galaxy S25 Ultra, then you are gonna be greatly disappointed by this phone, because it's not the most practical phone, and no, it's not the best battery performer, and no, it's not even gonna be the mainstream choice. But I don't think that's the point. The point is that we can have sleek, premium devices without losing the features that matter. Performance, display, cameras, all in a form factor that feels, new, that feels fresh again, and that feels new again. Is it for everyone? Definitely not. Definitely not for everyone. But this is just another way to push the frontier of technology, for people like myself, tech enthusiasts, yeah, we're gonna love this phone. But for regular folks, yeah, at that price point, what you can get with that money, $1,100, I don't know. I'm really hoping that when I get the phone to really play with it full time as my main phone, I get to change my tune or change how I feel about this phone. But right now, it truly feels very niche, which is not a bad thing because the Galaxy Z Fold line, even the Z Flip line, those are very niche phones that do pretty well. Not mainstream to everyone, but they do pretty well in their own corners. And I suspect this phone, the S25 Edge, is gonna be one of those, targeted at a specific crowd. Not the people who say, who needed this, who wanted this, who called for this. It's definitely not for you. But with that, even if you never buy the Edge, right? This level of innovation is definitely gonna trickle down to your next phone, whether you know it or not. I truly believe that, right? Whether you like it or not, parts of it are gonna trickle down to your next phone. That's just my take. And I still don't like that 1,100 price tag. I like the phone, but yeah, anyways, that's just my take. I hope this was informative. I would love to get a back and forth going down in the comment section there. Let me know what you think of this phone. If you have any questions, things that you would like for me to test on this phone as soon as I get it, in hands. I'm gonna catch you in the comment section like I always do. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Like the video, share if you know anyone who will be interested. I'm also gonna catch you in the next video. Up until that next video, of course, as always, stay safe out there.